I think we're live. Yeah, seems like so.
What is the... Oh, there is no live link, SMH.
There should be, the YouTube studio should just generate one, but it doesn't. I don't know why.
No, it doesn't anymore. It's broken.
To
I'll
go
just
to
link
my
your
channel.
channel. Yeah.
I should also change the name of it.
Is it number 5?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, I guess that conveniently brings us to what we are doing today, which I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I'll let you explain that one to
I
our
will.
audience and me.
Right now, I'm just refactoring some functions, but after that, I'd like to do some UI widgets and then start editor.
Hell yeah.
So it'd be cool, I think.
I guess we need maybe you already have this, but I guess we need some sort of data implementation of multiple game modes or user modes, so that there's editor mode as well as
Right now we have
RTS
game mode
mode.
and editor modes, but we don't have any menu system. But I will just handle it as a basic enum. Yeah.
When I was playing Arma 3 and changing in between, like using a character and being Zeus, which is their game master, the thoughts that I had were that you could have a lot of really exciting things. And the main thrust of that was that you could basically switch live. It was very laggy in that game. You didn't actually have that much you didn't have that many options to do it very easily because of the fact that their game was just not well programmed.
Yeah.
But the fact that you could do it in the middle of game was pretty exciting, and obviously it changed your whole menu and changed a bunch of stuff about your control scheme. You could like select units and stuff and move them around. So even though it was very like rough and like not stable and not performant,
Yeah.
it was a nice like little taste of what we could theoretically have and what we probably will have, like being able to switch between editor view and gameplay view as an RTS player or something like that.
Right.
So pretty good.
Yeah, I like it to be as seamless as possible, because then I guess you would have to assign permissions to that mode in the lobby or something.
Yeah, it would be lobby, and then I guess there would be a game, like a lobby host player would have the ability to change permissions for other players if they wanted to. Like, say we have something where you join in the middle of it. It's like, oh, I'll get this session started, and I'll start editing something, and then like you join, and I'm like, all right, let me give Veek permissions to become editor.
Oh yeah,
that
could be
stuff
cool.
like that would be useful, like a permissions manager, basically.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with a solution to seamless joining, but obviously it is something
that's
that
a
we
separate
plan.
thing entirely. But assuming we're going to support stuff like that, it would be nice to, even if we don't, like in a hypothetical world where you have to have a lobby completed before you, like everybody in the lobby is the only players, those are the only players that can play the game. Even if you're in a situation like that, it would still be helpful, I think, to be able to modify permissions on the fly if you're host.
Yeah.
So, and then maybe you could have a permission in, like the host could also grant permissions for somebody else to modify permissions if they didn't want to do it. Like if the host is actually trying to play the game and they just want somebody else to manage all that stuff. So things like that would definitely be helpful.
Yeah, I think being able to assign permissions is something that would be very useful, because then, like, imagine if you're like doing the we had that Mapcraft idea where you just build them up while the guy is playing.
Yeah.
After the match, you could just enable the guy that was playing the editor view, and then he can see what actually happened. And you would also be able to enable the editor view in replays, I think. And then you would be able to like pause at any time and like, oh, the guy changed this and this. Oh, let me actually use this as my base for a mob or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can like save current map as new file or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of wacky things. Maybe we should also get a data structure implemented for, or like drafted for projectiles specifically, because I was thinking that they would have very similar things to units in many respects. Like they would so the units, like obviously have health and a bunch of other stuff, right? I was thinking projectiles would have health because we're gonna have things that damage projectiles and can destroy projectiles. Some things can even explicitly target them.
Mm.
So yeah, I was thinking maybe that could work. The other thing I was thinking about is like we should probably put the weapon stats on the projectile since every weapon will have a projectile. And then we can just have like a very specific, like there'll be an invisible projectile or something that moves incredibly fast and is basically hit scan. But still would be a projectile. It's just not visible. I don't know what you think about that because that is kind of it is a bit of a weird system if you want to make something that's instant hit. But I think everything is going to be some sort of projectile or
Well,
another.
the projectile system right now already has the damage values being stored. Let me actually open that up. So where we have entity, we have the projectile thing. It already has damage, and we do not have armor pen right now. And the speed is just in the unit struct, but it's actually assigned to the in the entity struct. So it's actually assigned to the projectile. So all those like fields would be. So you even have like track timer, reveal timer, visibility.
Oh, okay.
You don't have
Cool.
unit specific stuff like weapon ID, flags. You don't have player, which might change probably. You don't have like
Yeah, we probably need player for weapon for projectile just for the sake of like if the projectile applies an effect or something. I guess it'll store its owner, right? It'll store the source unit.
yeah,
If the
but then
source
if
unit
the
dies
source
before the
unit die,
projectile
yeah,
does-
exactly.
yeah.
It already stores
So
the source unit, but not the.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
so
it
probably-
actually has the player.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even remember.
Yeah, in that case, that's fine. Yeah, so we would just need to add armor pen and health, I think, and maybe. What should we do about the data implementation of health or life? Because life should probably be. I wonder if we should actually make a custom struct for what life actually is, where life could be like could have health shields, like different shield types or whatever. Like, what do you think about that? Is that overcomplicating it? Should we just have different, entirely different fields of the struct of the entity struct for each different shield type or life type or whatever, like a resource bar, or should we make it so that there's like,
Yeah,
resources?
they will be like separate fields. That's for sure. It's not gonna be like an array or whatever. But it can be. We might actually do it as a substruct or something, so
Yeah.
you can actually pass it around to functions as if it's like useful. We'll look into it for like damage
yeah.
cogs and stuff. Or
Well, I was just
maybe we'll
thinking,
just
like,
move it
that
to
way-
the entity, because what I'm right now doing is I have entity, which is like a base thing, and then I
Yeah.
have a union, which basically determines what the unit is, if it's what the entity is, if it's a unit,
okay,
projectile, or thingy, and those have like different specifications,
Yeah, sure.
like basically exclusive data about them.
Yep. Well, I was just thinking that the life type would be having different. I just think we're probably gonna have like maybe 10 different kinds of shields. I don't know if it's like it would be worthwhile to track them differently as separate bars or separate fields, because if you think about it, like it has to be something where you go through and you have like, oh, this unit adds I don't know, Omindris shields to a unit, but that has to be a different shield type than the Rosellium shield or the Githrovan shield or whatever. Like, I guess Sikora are the only ones that have shields confirmed right now, but Well, no, the Keltar have their own personal resource, which is like a bloodlust shield type thing. So there would be like these shield types or extra life bar types, and I feel like we want to track them all separately in case there's a unit that gives it out to
Yeah.
other allies
Yeah,
or
sure.
something. So that's where I was thinking, for the sake of sanity, it might make sense as a substruct where you put like life resource or just life maybe as the name of the struct, and then inside that struct it has HP, shields, shields Psychora, shields Keltar, whatever the case
Yeah,
may
yeah,
be. And then you just
I
add
mean,
more as you need
it will depend if we'll like process lives independent of entities. But yeah, having them separate as in terms of like being separate floats or whatever. I mean, probably ints is a sane idea, because then you can assign something that you don't already have, and you won't have a conflict.
Yeah, exactly. So that way it's not like if I'm modifying shields from something, then that would be it would be pretty bad if I had to go in and make some special modifications.
guess-
In this case, we're just adding a new shield type.
Look
And that's probably
here.
all we need.
There's just armor class.
Bye. Yeah, more like buy, actually.
I guess I will even remove
Damage
this.
class as well.
Yeah. And all I will do is just add a unit flag. That's called... I won't even try to spell it. I mean, pronounce it. But,
Invulnerable.
yeah. Exactly. Actually swap those. What's really nice about statically typed languages is the errors, because now you can edit something and you can find what you broke. And in JavaScript, you just wouldn't know.
Don't say JavaScript. I still have that amazing line that I have to find use for somewhere, where Dynamo says, "Why would you make a game in JavaScript?" It's a choice line.
Yes. Oh, this can just fuck off. Bye. I guess armor class... I guess invulnerable should just be a flag that we assign now.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be an armor class. I don't think we need any sort of armor class stuff, to be honest. It's just not really that,
True. Remove armor class and integrate vulnerable to a flag field or something.
One sec.
Okay.
I guess we should get rid of the Dreamhold splash art and use something else.
Yeah.
We could just use the Cosmonarchy one, I guess.
Yes.
I'll change it from Brood War to hold on.
Yeah, if you could just commit it to the repo would be nice.
Yeah.
And we should probably also rename the window.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you think? Should we name it Antikythera the definitive gaming platform, or should we just call it Cosmonarchy for now?
You could just call it Cosmonarchy for now, or Zabalba or something. It's fine if it's just Cosmonarchy, because that's what we're switching back towards, is just building the RTS game mode.
Yes. See how I was meant to test. I'll check this, by the way.
What am I checking? Ah,
I mean,
what is Epic? You're spawning Masons, aka apprentices.
I am, because I'm in editor mode, but basically already handling key presses and stuff.
Yeah.
In a way that is deterministic, so it's not like rendering or something. So it's like it will work in multiplayer, basically.
Yeah, that's really good.
Okay, I wanted to check if those are indeed invulnerable, and they are. Okay.
Wait, what's invulnerable? Oh, the.
Minor fields.
Oh.
I am a bit puzzled if the... Is this transparent or something? It seems like it is.
What?
The minimap. Like
Yeah,
here.
there's like a little bit of there's a little bit of bleeding through on the black.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. But what was I saying? I'm not sure if the icons should be sodium because like I guess they should be.
Should be what?
Because the icons in minimap right now that are not that are like on export folk, they are darker than the normal ones.
Well, it's really bad with YouTube compression, but I sort of know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily a huge deal, but if it ends up being bad for readability or something, you can just make it so that the fog thing on the minimap doesn't affect the icons.
Yeah.
Like sort them to a higher layer of the minimap or something. I'm not actually sure how you've.
Yeah, I would just draw them in a different order.
Yeah. I might be able to even do this. There you go. All right. Hey, now I can use PNG for the splash too. Epic.
Yeah.
It will still be called Dreamhold Splash, unless you want to change that in the code base.
Yeah, I can change it. You're changing the extension anyways.
Yeah, it'll be called Cosmonarchy -splash.png. Although it is funny that it's in the Dreamhold folder, but whatever. It looks like I accidentally staged some shit I didn't even know I had modified, so that's a good prank. Give me 1 sec, I'll fix that. That's weird. All right, I have pushed my changes. What's up, Knight of the Realm?
What's up?
Did you know that Veek almost beat a birthday map earlier today?
I did
I
beat
say
it.
he would have beat it, but he didn't restart his game between runs, so he crashed. Noob.
Yeah, I freezed.
Oh, maybe that's not even related then. I forget what the freeze could be. It's probably some really obscure AI thing that I couldn't find.
Yeah, like Smanargy thing is working with Pinji. That's cool.
Hell yeah. It seems like the load times really are longer, which is unfortunate, but
Yeah.
Amon did indeed intervene. Why is YouTube terrible? Alright. So for anyone who's tuning in and missed the intro, Veek is refactoring some stuff. I'm cheerleading, and eventually we'll work on the editor.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna fix the Dracodon if I can. It looks like the walk cycle is just one frame too far. Oh wait, no, that's... and I think the Ecclesiast had the same issue. So I will try that.
Okay, so now I have to figure out why the minimap is transparent. And after that, I will do some widgets.
What widgets are you planning on doing?
So I'd basically I'd like something like this for... Like this where you have few options. And
Oh, I
here you
see.
have like units, buildings, and whatever. And here you would have, I guess this would be actually in the middle, but here you would have like on Sifi, and here you'd have Maverick or whatever.
Right, okay.
So this
So
would be
you can
swapped.
switch between the view on the left and then switch between the view in the middle for regencies. So the left is unit or entity type. The middle would be like classification. So it would be regencies, or if you had selected like doodads, it would be tile sets or something.
Yeah.
And then on the right is the actual list.
Yes. And at the top, I imagine we would want a search bar.
Yep. Absolutely. Maybe even a search bar for each field. So that way you could type like in the right you could type like
So I guess you would
infantry
have a
or something
global
like
search
class
bar
colon.
and per
Yeah, I
one.
guess. Yeah. I was just thinking it would be pretty trivial to do something like typing class colon infantry in the far right one, and then no matter like what you've selected in the middle. But I guess the global one would be good for showing all results, no matter what classification they belong to.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
the
I'll
top
have
could
to
just
think
be a
about it.
filter. Instead of being a global search bar, it would be a filter where it's like show multiple things or whatever. But yeah, I feel like having multiple search bars would be like a search bar for each one. I think would help navigation in general. But we
Yeah,
probably
we'll
don't need to
have
worry about
think
that as
it.
much in retail because there's only going to be 6 regencies, whatever the upstarts are, which will be. Well, yeah, I don't know. By the way, that attempted fix that I did not actually seem to work. It seems like there's still a missing step when I don't have that, and then when I do have that, they look like a bunch of idiots. It actually honestly looks like it's rendering like part of the unit differently or something. It's really weird. I'll just open up the sprite sheet and see what I can find. I guess it would be easier for me to look at the iScript instead. Alright, I think maybe I figured out what the cause of the issue was. Let me take a look. I can't build after I pulled. I don't know what happened.
Maybe. Try pulling again. The newest commit is 5vs.
Oh yeah, there was something I didn't.
Because Visual Studio just didn't decide to save the files when I told it to. So I didn't commit everything.
Gotcha. We're still missing something here. Yeah, I think now I figured it out. So that fixes that. Now it's time for the Ecclesiast. Oh, yeah, this one's going to be more complex. It's kind of hard for me to read the unit that I have selected because of the tick timer stuff when I'm in editor mode.
Wait again.
The tick timer and frame timer stuff is obscuring the unit in editor mode.
Oh yeah, I should do something about it.
All right, I fixed the animations, so that's up. Undertale anniversary content is recommended to you on this stream. That is pretty good. Yeah, when we can just avoid, or rather void, it would be epic. Epic. Man, I forgot the Zethra core bug is still there.
Yeah.
Fagudo posted a map editor for something called Dust Front. Never heard of it, but it's uploaded by an account that misspelled demon, unless his name is Demon. Oh no. I've got it muted right now, but I'm checking it out. Oh, it's 3D. Wow, that's no good. I don't know if this is due to the... He's just spamming the same rock everywhere. Oh no, there's multiple variants, I guess.
Yeah, this looks actually quite cool. Oh, you should show this.
It looks like the ability to morph, to apply like morphs to terrain the way that he... I can't tell if he's ramping or what is he doing. Because he doesn't even have anything selected on the left. The UI is a bit confusing. TBH. But he's basically like...
Yeah, it is. And it's also randomizing everything every time he does anything. Which is really bad. Yeah. I mean, when he was placing the cliffs, every cliff would randomize. So you would never be able to do any adjustments, really.
Well, he's been able to very quickly place some stuff, which is neat, I guess. And I like that you can select multiple things at once. And this is like actually significantly better than the StarCraft 2 editor, I'll say that much.
Yes.
It looks like he's also been using the terrain mostly as like a basic an outline, like a gray box. Yeah, and then he's adding a bunch of stuff. I definitely think the game is way too ugly to be looked at, but at least he's, you know.
Yeah, there isn't many colors.
He's also, it looks like this is mostly for designing. Yeah, dude. In order to do anything remotely similar to something like this in StarCraft 2, you would have to like. It would be so much slower to even interact with like individual objects. So.
I mean, you could technically use like shortcuts, but they added.
Well, it would, yeah, and the game would also just tank if you had this many individual objects on. And he seems to be able to. I mean, I'm watching at double speed, but he seems to be able to move around pretty easily. I like the preview, at least, of what he's placing as well. I don't really know if it's possible to not have it randomized between different options or whatever, but... And I always find it a weird conceit in 3D games when they have these whack-ass, like, cliff levels, but there's probably not much else you can do for explicitly defining height and stuff.
Right.
What's the other thing is that the collision on these would probably...
Also, his screen is so blurring, like, every time he moves.
That's probably because of YouTube, yeah.
And now it's explicit, I'm pretty sure it's explicit motion blur. And I think there's also bloom for certain things.
Oh, you mean it might be in the editor or something as a...
Yes.
Or the game or whatever this is? Because this might be something similar to what we're doing, where it's not the explicit editor exe or binary. Yeah, this looks like a lot more pleasant to work with, I'll say that much, than the other 3D map editors I've used for RTS games.
Yeah. I think making a map in 2D is way easier, though.
It is, and I honestly don't know about performance. He's using, again, he's placing a ton of objects, and... again, we're not really speaking too much about the visuals because they are pretty bad. He's also just like allowing Z fighting and stuff, and clipping. And
they could probably like rebake it or something if they would want.
Crystal, with 2 L's, by the way. Maybe it's Christall, Christ Almighty. Yeah, the game seems like a meme, but the editor, you know, they did a reasonable job.
If you would not have a zoom gimmick or whatever, you could actually pre-render the entire map to a 2D sprite. So you can really do magic in 3D if you would want, but people don't do it.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I mean, I imagine our when we get to the point where we're actually making a 3D game, like for the FPS or whatever, we'd probably want an editor that's this flexible and presumably
probably better.
Destroy all space enemy buildings. If your buildings are destroyed, you will be defeated.
Oh no.
Oh man, Jesus Christ, this game.
Oh fuck. This looks even worse in the game.
Yep.
Oh! They can rotate buildings while placing them. That's interesting. But I don't know if that would work in our thing. I don't think so.
I don't know if it's... I don't know what the value is. I guess it's like... it's probably for the sake of designing... what do you call it?
Well, it's useful for spacing out stuff and for like... maybe... maybe for like specific walls or whatever, but... I think that if you just have a static grid, you aren't really limited by it anyways. Because you can still be really precise. You can just be like...
So the difference would be if like rotating a production facility changed the starting angle of the unit when it came out.
Yeah, so
StarCraft 2
basically,
just ignored this and made it so that they come out in the direction of the rally point. I don't think that we'll actually do that, but I'm not sure yet because I haven't thought about it too much.
so if you like have this or this, you functionally have the same. Oh Jesus, I can draw it. You functionally have the same thing. So unless you would do something really stupid, you don't really gain much from it.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same thing. The problem would be if you try to combine those or whatever.
Yeah, then you have a ton of
Then-
like missed terrain that you can't use or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is why it's just better, I think, for simplicity's sake.
Yeah, simplicity is something we definitely want. Even though we want like a lot of expressivity too, but
Yeah.
we didn't want
No,
to
it's not like it's
sacrifice one on the
impossible
other.
to do
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's not like it's impossible to have both for sure. I honestly can't believe SCM Draft is so slow to open up basic dialogues. Holy shit. Alright. Prank IMO. I do like how every step closer we take, right, to having something functional is it gives us a better, cleaner, clearer picture of what it's actually going to look like when the whole thing is done, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, true.
Because obviously, every time we see something even more epic, we're just like, let's keep going because you gotta have it.
Yeah. Oh, this is a bug I didn't know about.
Jeez. Oh man. Dude, I like how even in this shitty Brood War mod, there are battles that last like 30 seconds to a minute of straight like units fighting just because that's how big the armies are.
Yeah.
You'd get that in very outlier cases in Brood War Classic 1v1, but even in Cosmonarchy Brood War 1v1s, like there are outliers that last like double that time too, so you can get really long lasting battles where there's a lot of room for uh, skill on both sides and movement on both sides. So. No, that was pretty epic. Because for all of the big critical, like mission critical aspects that are really really important that we get access to, like unit limit, no selection limit, like performance in general, AI control, like stuff that's going to make a huge difference. There's also all the little things that beat you down over time,
Yeah.
like oh, you can't have selection circles in between this size and that size. It's like, fuck you, dude. Why?
Yeah.
Why can't I just define a custom pixel radius and just have the engine generate it? Like, what is the problem? I mean, like, surely we could write our own code to do that. The issue is just that they're dumb and didn't give us the ability to do that without.
Yeah, there's exponentially more work you would have to do just because of the dominance of Brood War.
Yeah. Where it's like, I could tell you, like, oh, I want this feature, and you could probably have it operational in Antikythera very shortly. At least, like, a mock-up version of it, even if it was really complex. But in the context of something more arcane, like, trying to implement it in Brood War takes, like, days of reverse engineering work and bug fixing, and introduces, like, downstream effects we won't even understand and fathom for a long time.
Yeah, basically, until we would, like, we'd basically have to recreate the entire Brood War to be able to do what we would want. So basically, it's better to do a better engine.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to recover what's left of that.
I do like that they're just shuttling like 1 or 2 units at a time to destroy this mineral line. Oh, man. I can't wait for us to have like really nice, like not cheating, just straight up fair, but tactically sound AI that kites properly and
Yes.
just feels like a real opponent. Also, like, here's an example of something really ridiculous: is the cloak rewrite. There's still that downstream bug that we haven't fixed, where like units will just be cloaked forever. But like that, the implementation of that should take you like 10 minutes. It shouldn't take you like a month of like going back and forth and having to come up with some other version because you're fighting lard code, and then still not be perfectly done. Like, obviously, the word "should" is a dangerous word to use, but come on, dude.
I mean, I don't think in this context it is, because you basically could replace it with could, because we're literally doing it now with Antikythera.
Whoa, you can't stasis field workers. That actually is a funny meme. I wish somebody in Brood War 1v1 did that at some point. Like, just built a bunch of extra arbiters and walked up and stasis a bunch of workers just to deny mining time. Such a stupid way to use it, but it's funny. Because it lasts like a minute in Brood War. Because memers. I'm pretty impressed that this guy's still alive. Imagine killing a golem with scribes. That's my question. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You.
Alright. So we're already at an hour, but I think we can do 30 minutes more.
Oh, cool. I can't believe. It's already been an hour. That's crazy.
Yeah. I did fix some of the transparency bugs, and we did the PNG thing, and basically some refactoring. That's about it. But I will
Yeah.
do.
So, what did you want to do about widgets? Oh, I
Yeah.
guess you haven't moved the timers or whatever yet. But that's less of a critical issue than, or a critical task.
Oh yeah, I can do it in a second. I will need to refactor the text row stuff at some point. So I basically can choose if something is centered without having to do calculations in place. But for now, I think I will just. What should I do? Okay, this will be a workaround. Okay, so basically I'm moving the thing now.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I think.
Things weird happening with those grids. Oh, I think I'm not drawing them as often as I normally would. So they have a delay.
Yeah, they snap back basically.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
And I imagine drawing them more often is just going to be more GPU intensive. So.
No, so the reason I'm drawing UI only 24 times a second is because I want to have the UI code in one place, so I can basically do immediate style calls to like buttons and stuff without having to like, oh, I have to like maintain this button state and I have to allocate a lot of memory just so I can do basic stuff. And it also is like just very convenient. So with grid, I will just move it to the pair frame draw style instead of the other one. But thanks to the UI thing. Oh. Hi.
Owned. Nice mini map.
Yeah, isn't it? But thanks to the UI changes I did recently, we just like tripled the FPS. So that's really
Oh
good.
shit. Nice.
It was really expensive to draw it actually.
Yeah, that. I guess that shouldn't surprise me. You. How's stuff?
Well, as you can see, it's pretty bad. It is pretty bad, but I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. You're actually putting in the widgets.
Oh, I know why. Okay, so we have this.
Okay.
Which is something, I guess. So I'm already like storing which what
Which is
player
the active selection?
yeah, what is like clicked, but I'm not
Yeah.
I'm still not storing what is the active thing basically. So I'll have to think about how to resolve that.
And obviously, none of the buttons actually do anything in terms of changing the active selection. And
Yeah, no.
unless it's YouTube being bad, there doesn't seem to be any obvious thing that tells me what is actively like? What was the last thing selected, basically?
Yeah, it's non-existent yet.
Okay. You can't Facebook me. I think the only social media we'll ever link to is probably whatever chat app we replace Discord with in the future.
Yeah, Chatcore.
That it could be its name in honor of our fallen brother who has voided.
Yeah.
I just assume he got like really busy, or I mean, theoretically he would have just said so. So I kind of think maybe the worst is to blame, but you never know, man. Hopefully he's doing all right out there in the Ukraine. Hopefully UD
Yeah.
commander didn't execute him. Oh, I don't have this bookmark.
What
Don't
are you
open this
laughing
on
at?
stream, obviously.
Oh, I didn't know where will the browser show up, so I won't click it.
Oh, you could just copy it and paste it into
Oh,
some
yeah, you're right. I don't really trust Discord, so...
Oh, I didn't BR. What an idiot. I fucking hate BRs.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer the Bugs to Shen, but ideally you wouldn't need either.
Yeah, you enter key maybe?
Yes! I agree.
Alright, fix that in a sec. But yeah. The title image there is pretty good, I think. I think it works.
Okay, so we have this, but it's currently impossible to change the selection.
Or what do you got here? Oh, none, none, none. So you can't change it now, but now it at least highlights what you have selected visibly. Although
Yes.
it could probably still be more explicit, but this is all like rough cut stuff. So
Yeah, I don't think it will be transparent. I think transparency didn't work out for UI.
I
At
mean,
least
maybe
not
as like a
as
slider you could customize or something, but I don't see. There's not much of a point to it,
yeah.
especially in this level stage of development.
Yeah.
There you go. That's specifically what I was trying to show you.
You know what's funny? I thought I tripled the FPS, but I'm on debug.
Oh, okay.
I was at 60, I think. Or no, maybe.
I don't know what
don't
you were
know.
at, but it's not that. You weren't at that. That's for sure.
Allow me to debug. Release, I mean. That's funny.
There's a lot of little details there.
Yeah. If you would want to help me,
Yeah.
you can go to UI.c and you can change those to whatever looks good. So I don't have to look at that garbage thing I came up with.
Okay, hold on.
I guess the selection color is pretty good, but the UI stuff isn't really that great.
Oh my god. Oh, Photoshop.
Hello.
You? Wait, who said hello?
Oh, look at the stream.
Ah, I see you have selection changing.
Yeah.
Let me pull. Oh, already up to date.
So yeah, this is actually ready to be used.
Ready to be hooked up to actual things, yeah. So I see the colors you were talking about here. What are they in relation to?
UI.
So they're the pressed stuff. Okay, so you want me to just edit these until they look proper?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've pushed the latest code or if
I
you
didn't
need it.
change those. It should be fine.
All right. So right now
It's
I only have high and,
RGBA, basically.
yeah, I only have high and epic for mine, but that should still be enough for me to figure out what it is. I don't know that we would change from achromatic though.
Yeah, probably not. We'll have like the themed race UI probably at some point. But I imagine the thing we have now would just be an option.
Yeah, well, we also need to. We probably want to move that to the right side of the window or something. Races. You should say regencies, actually.
I had the same amount of characters before. What have you done?
I have encouraged you to think outside the U.
Ah, correct. Yeah, I guess this is satisfactory. And then I will be able to do some more stuff next time I open it. And yeah, with those three basic primitive like UI stuff, with having buttons, checkboxes, and the advanced like lists, can actually do some advanced editor stuff. I guess it would be also useful if I had like fields for like text input or like something, maybe sliders or whatever. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, there's still a ways to go for it to be what would you call it, feature complete or whatever, but it's coming along quite nicely, I would say.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, we're
once those
already.
are actually hooked up to functionality where you I suppose instead of making I don't know exactly how you've hooked it up yet, but I think you were implementing. You have like an enum or something that it's reading from. It should probably just read from the unit's def file, or maybe each regency will have its own
So for
individual
now
unit
I
def file.
don't. For now I just hard coded the thing, but I will have
Oh, okay.
an automated thing that generates those from the loaded stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I think that will be it for today because we're already past the intended time and like we did some progress, which is pretty cool. And let's actually sustain this streak, I guess. Let's have
Yeah,
something.
if we can basically do it so that you stream on the days I don't stream and I stream on the days that you don't stream,
Yeah.
we'll be doing by definition that'll be a stream every day of something related to development.
Yes.
So watch this space, I suppose.
And then I will also probably take up calls in between the streams so we can still smash some stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, that's really it. So see you guys tomorrow on Pronago stream, and that's it.
Hell yeah. Bye.
Bye.